Hi girls, Mr. Gilmore here again. Today we're going to be looking at algebraic division. Um, Now this is something that actually came up on the mocks, and I don't think any of you got it correct. So reviewing over this material is going to be hugely helpful to you girls. So the idea here is we are given a quadratic equation. Okay, so we're given a quadratic. Now that's any equation, with an x squared value, and we divide it by a linear equation. So that's any equation where the largest variable is just x, like there's no square around the x's or anything. So let's have a quick look at a few examples, and I'll run you through it. It's kind of using an evolution of long division. So in your textbooks, they're showing up like this. X squared plus 3x plus 2 divided by x plus 1. I don't like the way that they've written that, because if you know your order of operations, which I hope all of you girls do, that's not correct. It should be like this. So there should be brackets around this, and there should be brackets around this. In the actual exam, it asked you to divide a quadratic. It gave a quadratic equation, and it said divide it by, and then gave you the linear equation, okay? So let's have a quick look at one of these examples, okay? So if we take this value, we're going to be dividing this by this, and we're going to create something kind of like long division. So we're going to create a kind of long division notation. Going to go x squared plus 3x plus 2. And then I'm going to write the x here for the linear value in blue and the constant in red. And it will make sense in a few seconds, okay? Okay, so what we do here is we use our leading kind of variable in a division, so the x value, as kind of our guide as to what we're dividing by each time. So we need a value that we can multiply x by, or really we just need to look at this and go, what is x squared divided by x? Okay, so what is x squared divided by x? Well, it's x up here at the top, okay? So in the same way that you do long division, we're going to go, okay, x squared down here, but it isn't just x here, it's also plus 1. So what we also need to do is we need to not only multiply the x by the x here to get x squared, we also need to multiply the plus 1 by the x, and we get an x here, okay? So the idea here is, once we've done that, we're just going to subtract it away in the same way that we would in long division. So we'll get 0 here, right? Because x squared minus x squared is 0, plus 3x minus x, because it's minusing the whole thing away from it. It's going to be 2x. Okay, now we need to do a similar thing again. So again, what can we divide? So what happens when we divide 2x by x? Well, we get plus 2. Let me do that there. Plus 2. And down below here, we're going to get plus, actually, I'm going to leave the plus out of this, 2x here. And similarly, we need to figure out the plus 1 value here. So 1 multiplied by 2, that's just going to be plus 2. And we subtract that away, and we should get from that 0 plus 0. So what we can say now is that both x plus 1 and x plus 2 are factors of this quadratic. So we can say x squared plus 3x plus 2 equals x plus 1 by x plus 2. So, as you girls have probably remember, we will be figuring out how to factorize quadratics in a day or two, but this is a way of factorizing out quadratics if we are already given one of the quadratics. So I'd really recommend reviewing over this because I don't think any of you got this right for the mocks. So again, in your book, it's going to give you this without the brackets. It should have the brackets. That's a mistake by the book writer. So let's have a look at another example. And this one's a little bit tougher because we've got negative numbers in here, but it's still the same principle. Okay, and I'm going to leave the colors out this time just to keep this video from running on too long. So x squared minus 3x minus 10, x minus 5. Okay, actually, yeah, no, I will leave them out. Okay, so what, what is x squared divided by x? Well, that's x, so we get x squared down here. What's minus 5 multiplied by x? Well, it's minus 5x. Pop some brackets around that and subtract the whole thing away. Okay, so we'll get a 0 here. Now, what do we have here? Well, we have a negative here, so we're taking away a negative number. So if we take away a negative number, then we get a positive number, don't we? It's the same as adding that number. So really, this should be 3 minus 3x plus 5x, because the negative and the negative makes a positive. So we'll get here plus 2x. Okay, what can we divide? What happens when we divide 2x by x? Well, we get plus 2. So 2x and negative 5 multiplied by 2. Take away 10. And we're just going to subtract that away again. Actually, I just need to write in the negative 10 there. And again, we'll get zeros both sides, okay? Because again, negative 10 taken away from negative 10 is 0, because take away a negative number, it's a positive. Actually, just while we're here, I'm going to change this here because it looks almost like it's a 0. It is not. It is a, sorry, it looked like a 6 rather than a 0. Okay, so that's how we solve a few of these. I would recommend writing down these examples for yourself. I'm going to do one more, and then I'm going to give you girls some work to do. I'm hoping you girls will have this in to me for Monday. So, our final example here. Now, this one's a little bit different because in the last two, we didn't have a coefficient, a number in front of the x squared. This time we do have a coefficient for x squared, but beyond that it's not any different. So let's zoom in here and we'll have a look at this equation. Okay, so we've got 3x take away 1, we've got 6x squared, 10x, sorry, minus 10x, and our minus 4. Okay, so let's handle this out. Okay, so 6x squared divided by 3x, that's going to give us 2x, right? So we'll get a 6x squared here, okay? And 2x multiplied by negative 1 is going to give us a minus 2x. Okay, so let's pop some brackets around these. And this will cancel itself out. And then take away a negative number. That's the same as adding the number. So negative 10 plus 2x is going to be negative 8x. Throwing that minus 4 there. Sorry, there's an error here, is there not? sorry, my mistake. This should be a plus. My apologies. I'm going to change that out now. So plus in here, plus in here, and then because it'll be taking away a positive, it'll be subtract. So 10 minus 10, take away 2, that'll be minus 12x. And then we'll end up with a negative 4 here. So again, negative 12x divided by 3x, that's negative 4, because 12 divided by 3 is 4. Negative 12x here, plus 1 multiplied by negative 4 is again negative 4. Pop some brackets around that and a subtraction. I'll get 0 plus 0. Fantastic. Okay, so this one changes out a little bit again. 6x squared minus 10 minus 4 equals 3x plus 1 by 2x minus 4. If for any reason you don't get zeros here, okay, if you don't get zeros at the very end, either two things has happened. One, the first thing that could have happened is you might have just made a mistake. Look through your work. If you haven't made any mistake, what you have actually discovered is that this is not a factor of this. So this is one of the ways in which we can test if a linear expression is a factor of a quadratic expression. So I think for the questions I'm going to give you, all of them should work out fine. So you'll know that you just made an error. But in an exam, it might go using division of algebraic division, which is what we're studying right now. Please evaluate if this linear expression is a factor of this quadratic. Anyway, I'm going to throw up some homework now, girls. What I'm going to ask you to do is page 36, questions 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12. Okay, if you can all have that in for me for Monday, that would be fantastic. Thank you very much.